It wasn't subtle, it wasn't polite, and it definitely wasn't quiet. When Savannah Chrisley said, "He is not racist, live on The View," the room froze and then exploded. Because in that moment, it wasn't just a debate, it became a showdown. This wasn't a passing comment, it wasn't a small disagreement. Savannah doubled down. Again and again. While the panel fired back with examples, court cases, old headlines, and historical receipts, and what happened next didn't just divide the table, it divided the audience. So how did a guest host week turn into one of the most controversial clashes of the season? Savannah Chrisley walked into The View knowing she was the outlier. 4 co-hosts, 1 guest, very different worldviews. She had already faced backlash earlier in the week. Fans threatened boycotts. Social media called her propaganda. But Thursday was different. The topic, President Trump and criticism surrounding Black History Month messaging. Sunny Hostin didn't hesitate. "He is a racist," Savannah interrupted immediately. "He is not. No pause, no hedging. Just firm denial." What made the moment intense wasn't just disagreement, it was the evidence that followed. Whoopi Goldberg began listing reasons critics used to support that claim. Past housing discrimination, accusations in the 1970s, the Central Park 5 full-page ads, comments about immigrants, social media posts one by one. The panel laid it out. Savannah countered with personal experience. "He saved one of my best friend's lives, a Black woman." That argument didn't land the way she hoped. "So, he has a Black friend. He's a racist," Sunny responded. The audience applauded. And in that moment, Savannah wasn't just defending a president, she was defending her own alignment. Because this debate wasn't theoretical, it was personal. Here's where the clash became bigger than the table. Savannah questioned whether the housing discrimination case was just an accusation. The hosts pushed back. It was litigated. She argued that staffers were responsible for controversial posts. A clip played stating the president personally posts on Truth Social. She pointed to permanent funding for HBCUs. Sunny responded that the funding began before that administration. Applause again. Every time Savannah pushed forward, the panel pushed back harder. And online, the reaction was instant. Regular viewers said they canceled their DVR recordings. Some said the vibe felt off all week. Others questioned how she qualified for the seat at all. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The louder the outrage, the louder the spotlight. This moment reveals something bigger about modern media. Savannah isn't a trained political commentator. She's a reality star turned vocal advocate. That shift is difficult. On her own podcast, she controls the pacing. On social media, she frames the message. On The View, she reacts in real time against seasoned debaters. That's a different arena. And viewers can sense when someone is operating outside their comfort zone. Critics saw repetition, supporters saw courage, but psychologically what mattered most was this. Savannah didn't retreat. She absorbed the pushback. She stayed seated. She kept speaking. That kind of persistence, even when unpopular, reshapes public identity. For some, she looked unprepared. For others, she looked unwavering. Both interpretations fuel engagement. Then came her response after the backlash. Instead of escalating, she reframed. On Instagram, she spoke about coexistence, dialogue, choosing love over hate. She described the week as a moment of purpose. 4 women who see the world one way, one who sees it another. And she insisted that standing firm doesn't require tearing others down. That pivot matters because it shows awareness. Savannah understands she's controversial, but she also understands controversy creates narrative power. And narrative power is influence. Savannah Chrisley's week on The View wasn't smooth, it wasn't universally praised, it wasn't safe, but it was unforgettable. She stepped into a room that disagreed with her, she defended her beliefs under pressure, she faced applause and backlash in the same breath. And in today's divided climate, that's not small. Some viewers walked away frustrated, others walked away impressed. But no one walked away indifferent. And in media, indifference is the real failure. Savannah didn't shrink. She didn't soften her stance. She chose confrontation over comfort. Whether that strengthens her long-term credibility or cements criticism is still unfolding. But one thing is certain, the week wasn't about Trump alone. It was about Savannah stepping into a different kind of spotlight, one where personality meets politics and conviction meets consequence. When you defend your beliefs in a room that challenges you at every turn, does that prove strength or expose limits? And if you were at that table, would you have spoken up or stayed silent?